Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, it's been several years since the story broke about all the abuse that was going on at the U.S. Olympic training facilities and at the University of Michigan. I think it was Michigan State University. Sometimes the abuse is sexual. Sometimes it's physical. Sometimes it's verbal abuse. Now, verbal abuse may not sound as serious as the others, but the effects can be devastating. And we tend to think of it as almost exclusively happening to young girls. But don't forget about the Maryland football program, which had a culture of abuse that resulted in the death of one of their football players. When we see these athletes perform, what they do is so amazing that we forget how young they are, how vulnerable they are. In the case of college football, they're just out of high school a lot of times. They're still teenagers. And in the case of gymnastics, they often start while they're in grammar school. And by the time they get to the Olympic level, they are still young teenagers, 13, 14, 15 years old. They may feel like adults, but they're not. And they have been involved in their sport since they were very young. And they're used to obeying authority figures without question. Often they don't figure out that they're being abused until years later. So we have to remember that these are fertile grounds for predators. This is an idea that seems to have been lost in college athletic departments and in the Olympic training facilities. But they should always be keeping that in mind. And it's not just in athletic programs. Don't forget, this stuff happens in Boys and Girl Scouts, in churches, we know about that, and on and on. Any place where there are vulnerable children who are being put in charge by adults with unquestionable authority is a danger zone. And what has to happen is that the people who run these programs have to understand that the traditional bureaucracy can't handle these kinds of problems. There has to be somebody who is independent, whose job it is to protect those kids and keep an eye out for any signs of abuse and make sure that if they see something that's suspicious, that it is thoroughly investigated. That's the only way to preserve the integrity of these programs. Thanks for listening. Well, I want to thank you all for watching my videos. But there are certain changes that Google has made to YouTube, which, since I'm a smaller channel, means that I can't monetize my videos. So I found places where I can. So instead of watching my videos here on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you go either to Patreon or to Top Buzz. They let me monetize videos and I don't even have to put commercials on. So if you want to become a patron on Patreon, that's fine. If you don't, you can still watch the videos there. I've just kind of given up on YouTube. YouTube is just a place that I use so that I can put my videos in other places. So, Patreon, Top Buzz, the links are in the description box. Thanks a lot.